All right. Well, welcome everyone. We appreciate you taking time out of your evening to join us for this session 2, Finance for All for Lay and Clergy. Our presenter for this evening is Mr. Clarence Lee. I do see Mr. Clarence Lee Jr. I do see our Bishop, Bishop Teresa Snorton. I'll pause now so that she can greet us if she wishes.
Well, I just want to say good evening. Thank you all for joining again. I've got my notepad and my pen so I can take some good notes because I learned a lot last week. And just looking forward to Mr. Lee's second presentation. But thank you all for your investment in this program.
Thank you, Bishop. And for those that were not on last week, so we can get into the lesson, I will say that Mr. Clarence Lee Jr., he is a member of Central CME in Detroit, Michigan, 3rd Episcopal District. He is a finance professional. And so we're grateful for his presence. We're grateful for him spending some time with us over the next, we have 3 more weeks. So this week, next Tuesday, and the following Tuesday, we'll be here at 8 p.m. Eastern. The link that you receive, you can forward that on to your local church members, your pastor. And if you have any questions or comments or concerns tonight, you can text directly to either the tech team member or Sharonda Greenlee. You can see that in the participant side in your chat. So without further ado, Mr. Clarence Lee Jr.
There is further ado. There is
okay.
The information presented tonight is for educational and informational purposes only, and do not necessarily represent any official position of the CME Church. I have to give that disclaimer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bishop. I'm going to start out. I just wanted to let you know that this is a journey for me. I'm excited about this particular topic because we're going to talk about, I want to make sure I got this right.
Yes.
That's not right.
Right.
No, that's not right.
We see it.
Do you see how many works?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you so much. That is worth the audio right there. Thank you. We're going to talk about how many works, and I want to show you that once you learn these concepts, and it's going to take some time, but that's okay. We got a lifetime, and we got to pass it on to the next generation. So I'd like you to take this information and really use it, but try to learn it. So the first thing I want to do is take the time to personally thank Bishop Teresa E. Snorton for her and her bold Money Matters team for all the things they're doing here. I think this will have such an exemplary impact on the church, our communities, and our generations to come. And I just want to personally thank them for what they're doing. This, I believe, will help us through generations if we really take heart and really try to do it, okay? The other thing I want to make a disclaimer for is that I'm a registered representative with PFS Investments, Inc. I am not an attorney. I am not an accountant. And I'm not part of any, I don't offer any credit repair services, just so you know. Consult the experts in that. And I can the only thing I can do is point in that direction because I don't get in their field. They do that, I do what I do, okay? Just so you know, all right? And what this section is going to be is we talked about debt stacking and the 3 accounts. I'm going to go over some of that. And then I'm going to go into module 3, which is rule of 72, and avoid the middleman. I'm going to show you how, if we don't watch it, we become what we call, we're not owners. We're always having other people use our money. So I'm going to go into detail on that. And the last module will be next week. But let me start by saying we believe financial education should be free. We wholeheartedly believe it. We got a book that we'll share, and you'll see that at the end of this, that we have a number of resources that are available to you that you can learn this the way you should learn it and the way it should have been taught in school. I'm fighting for that too. I think we should teach it in school. So let me just get with your mentality. I bet you ask yourself, how can I save for a future when I have so much debt? Okay, we'll talk about that. How much money is enough to retire? And what if I got started late? Aren't these questions that people ask? The other one is, if I die prematurely, what becomes of my family? And can I ever truly become financially secure? I'm going to tell you, you can. Okay. You don't need to earn a six-figure income or have, to get financially independent. You don't have to have a high-paying job or a big salary. And you don't have to have a great inheritance or even win the lottery, but you can do this. The other thing is you can get out of debt, you can build your savings, you can get on the path of financial independence. What you have to do, though, is take control. The thing about it, though, you gotta take control by doing the things we're talking about. Pay yourself first. We're going to talk about that tonight. Know your financial independence number. That's something we offer as a free service. We'll show you what that is. What do you actually need to retire? Those are things that we do through our programs. Adjust your priorities. I mean, these are mental things, right? Change your thinking on money. Money's not evil. What we do with it is, but money is not. You need to have it. So trust that you can get there and we can work with you. Adjust your lifestyle. Earn additional income. There are ways that you can earn additional income, whatever that may be. If you do that, put it aside for some of the things you want to do here tonight, as far as getting your financial house in order. Rein in your assets or realign your assets. I'm sorry. Avoid the credit trap. I'm going to show you that tonight in detail. We don't realize how that messes us up over time. Okay. And the other one, set goals and have a plan. The other thing I want to make sure you understand, there are things you cannot control. Do not worry about it. We can't control what's going to happen to Social Security. We can't control our employer. We can't control how the taxes will affect us. We can't control inflation, rising costs, or the risk of a single investment. And what that means is sometimes we put money in one thing and it collapses and everything falls down. We're going to show you how to avoid that. The other thing, what you can control is saving for retirement, creating other sources of income, the other ways to reduce your taxes. And we're going to definitely talk about that part. Maximize your savings, saving more, and there will be incentives. What I found is if you can picture it in the future and you really have a target, it makes you want to put more away. I'm going to show you how we do that. And diversify your investment choices. Retirement is a money amount. It's not an age. Okay, just so you know. When you got enough money, you can retire whenever you want. But the key is to get the money. So these are some of the things. I want to give you some ideas of how you can go into this. This is basic goal setting. What you want to do is list your goals. Describe them in detail. What do you want? Short term, long term. The other thing you want to do is get personal. You got to write down your why. Why do you want to do this? If you want to leave something for your grandchildren, if you want to do something, write it down. This is basic goal setting, but you got to have that picture in your mind as to why you're doing it. It makes you get through those hard times and really work it out. Prioritize your list. Which are easier, more attainable. Create a timeline. This will help you stay on track. And do the math. How much money do you need to save? These are all things that you need to do. Pay yourself first. Let's deal with that. What people don't realize is they make a lot of money in their lifetime. If you had a $40,000 income and you worked for 20 years, you would have over $800,000 that you made. You've almost made $1 million in 20 years. All right. And if you saved, let's say, a year's salary, you would have saved in this formula we talk about 20% of your income. That's a good way to look at this. Think of what you can do with that. Okay. Here's another thing. My first hint tonight is treat your investment account like a bill that you pay every single month. Prioritize investing in your personal money plan. That's something I would definitely suggest. That's the hint that you need to have. Treat yourself as good as you pay your bills. Pay them good too. Okay. There are 3 accounts that you need. The first one is an emergency account. And that's for things that may occur between 0 and 2 years. You got to have that put away. In fact, this is so important because you can't really invest long-term if you got emergencies popping up all the time that you got to pay for. So you got to put money away like that. Another one is a short-term account, which is between 3 to 5 years expenses. You're trying to buy a car, you're trying to buy a house, you're trying to do those things that, bring comfort to your family, vacations maybe. Okay. The last one is your wealth building account. This is where you're going to focus on making sure you put money away for your retirement so you can retire in dignity. So, paying off debt. This is the big issue tonight. I want to show you something that you don't realize. When you take a one-time $3,000 purchase and you got an 18% interest rate on it, it would take you 10 years to pay it off if you paid the minimums. And you would also be paying almost $2,000 in interest. So that $3,000 item just cost you $5,000. Now, in my previous presentation, I was talking about compound interest a bit. I'm going to go in detail on the third module, but is compound interest working for you or against you? If you have debt, it's working against you. And this is why people can give you credit cards at 18 and 29% and not even think about it. They're making money, okay? And you don't want them to be making that money off of you. Here's another thing, subtly how things have happened. This happened to me and I didn't even realize. I had to really go back and check. You got a revolving debt and you got a fixed debt. In a fixed debt, you got set payments for a set period of time. With a revolving debt, if you just pay the minimum amount on that, this thing will take you at least 17 years and 2 months to pay off. A $17,000 debt at 18% paying $595 a month, it would pay almost $12,500 in interest payments and would take you 17 years to pay it off. If you had the same loan, but it was a fixed debt, fixed amount, fixed payments, you would pay it off in 3 years, 2 months. And your interest payment would be $5,370. That's a lot different, right? And the payment is exactly the same. So you got to be able to look at these things and see if they're revolving or fixed. Revolving is bad. So you don't want that. So you got to look into these things. Like I said, I was fooled once on a loan I took, and I'm wondering why the payment wasn't going down, or the principal wasn't going down. It was a revolving debt. They slipped it in on me. I was very upset, by the way. I changed banks. So anyway, here's another one. This is a concept we teach called debt stacking. It's really simple, but it's effective, okay? And what it basically says is that what you have is a target debt that you have. And what you want to do is pay that off as fast as possible. What you're going to do when you do that, you're going to take that money that you paid off, that $220 in this case, you're going to pay it off. You're going to take that $220, add it to the credit card below that, which is $353, and now you're going to be paying $573 a month on that particular card. Now watch how this grows. Now you paid that one off. You're going to use the $573, add it to $551. On the car loan, it's going to be $1,124. Now, many people kind of stop here, right? But just imagine if you continue to do it. Well, I'm paying this car off. Just continue to do it. Let me show you what happens. That $1,124, you pay that off, and now you're going to add that to your next credit card, which is $303. Now you're putting $1,427 towards the next debt. You see how this works? You keep going, and by the way, no new money. It was $2,720. You didn't add any more money to your debt. You just paid all your debts off. But let me show you what the impact is. Without debt stacking, what we just went through, it would take you 24 years to pay off all your debts. And you would pay $212,000 in interest, same payment. With our program that we talked about, debt stacking, you would pay it off 15 years sooner, pay $82,000, no new money now, right? You paid all your debts off 15 years sooner. What can you do for the next 15 years with that money? Might even invest it, huh? Think about that. We're going to show you how to do that too later, okay? But that's what we talk about. I want to show you a video now. This is one that I like you to see. It's on debt stacking. It's a way of explaining it a little simpler than just what I did, okay? So let me know if you can hear this, please.
Yes.
Debt stacking. By taking into account the interest rate and the amount of debt, debt stacking identifies an ideal order for you to pay off your debts. You begin on making consistent payments on all of your debts. The debt that debt stacking suggests that you pay off first is called your target account. When you pay off the target account, you roll that payment into the payment you are making on your next target account. As each debt is paid off, you apply the amount you are paying to that debt to the payment you are making on the next target account. Debt stacking allows you to make the same total monthly payment each month toward all of your debts and works best when you do not accrue any new debts. You continue this process until you've paid off all your debts, and when you finish paying off your debts, you can apply that amount toward creating wealth and financial independence.
I love these videos, but because it kind of ties it in. But let me go to the next one. This is avoid common credit card mistakes. Now, this is what happened. This is what I did. Okay, so I'm confessing right now. This is my confession. Not valuing your credit, not valuing it at all. The other one is maxing out your credit cards, not monitoring your credit score. And another one is not knowing your interest rate and fees and not being aware of your total debt. Now, I was at a point in my life that it was really strange. I didn't value this at all. I didn't even know the impact. But what I found out was, I don't think anyone realizes that many of the things we do, the credit score that you get affects it. We didn't know that the homeowner's insurance you get, they have a category in there for a credit score. They're
This is
judging
something
you.
we,
Yeah, they're judging you on,
this is,
oh, I'm sorry. They're judging you on something that you didn't even know was a basis for determining how much you pay. But let me show you what you can do. You got to know your score. I went into a program, I knew my score. I targeted a certain type of account where I could actually monitor it a lot closer. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to just be honest. My credit score was so bad. It was like, I think it was in the 500s. That's how bad it was. That's a bad credit score. Now I try to compete with my wife. I'm at, 8 something, we kind of compete on that. But it's like, it took me so, and it didn't take me long. It took me about 6 months and everything started changing back. Another thing you need to do, you need to not miss payments. And the reason you want to check your credit score and look at your credit report, you need to go through that in detail and find out what's on there. There were things on there that one that I could not get rid of. I had a bill on my credit score, credit report that was on I was 1 year old. I couldn't have an Edison bill at 1 year old, but it was on my credit score. I cannot get that off anyway. It's been that long. So anyway, you catch up overdue accounts. And I'm gonna give you another secret too that I found going through this process myself. You know those little bills, like you have a doctor's visit or you're visiting something and it's only $1, or excuse me, $10, $15. When you don't pay that, many of the companies were turning you in, so you were getting that on your credit score too. So you got to pay all that stuff off, little miniature things. But I'm telling you that from personal experience. I didn't realize this. And you keep a low balance, and the balance on your credit card is one that they determine typically for your score as well. So be aware of that. You can go into detail as you go through it. And don't apply for credit often. Every time you apply, you get dinged, okay? So I want to show you something. This is another video. I love this one. But I want to actually go into some of the details on what you can do in a 4-step process to get your house in order on debt. So let me show you this. And I need you to let me know if you can hear it.
If someone tells you to create a plan for your spending or a budget for yourself, how does it make you feel? Like this or like this? If it's exciting, great. If it feels like a burden, don't sweat it. You are about to learn 4 simple steps that are easy to follow, so you'll be able to look forward to a whole lot more of this. Without a good spending plan, we can suddenly get hit with credit card debt or unexpected expenses to fix a car or pay a big medical bill. These things only add on stress and anxiety and create more roadblocks in our financial progress. A great spending plan empowers us to tell our money where to go instead of wondering where it went. It allows us to turn our wasted money into wealth. Did you know most people admit to easily wasting $5 to $10 a day? That adds up to $150 to $300 a month. And for a married couple, it could be $300 to $600 a month. Imagine freeing up some of those dollars to erase debt and invest more in your future. Finding a way to do this could make the difference between long-term financial independence or having to work for the rest of your life. For example, what if you freed up just $300 a month and invested it? At a 9% rate of return, in 20 years, you would have over $185,000. And in 30 years, almost $500,000. In this short video, we're going to show you how to create that kind of spending plan. Step 1. Write down how you're going to spend your paychecks before you get them. You can write it on paper, type it into a document on your computer, or you can use an app. The point is to determine where every dollar will go before your check is deposited. This includes setting aside money for emergencies and for expenses that don't happen every month, like vacation, clothes, repairs, and gifts. You will find it's best to put this money in a separate account. If you are paid every other week, most months you receive 2 paychecks, but there are 2 months each year you receive 3. If you are paid weekly, you usually receive 4 paychecks a month, but there are 4 months each year when you receive 5. Identify in advance when you will receive these extra paychecks and have a plan for that extra money. You might consider using these amounts for vacation, Christmas, clothes, or building your emergency savings. Step 2. Spend your paychecks the same way every month. It sounds simple, but it makes a huge difference. Once you decide where your paycheck is going to go, do your best to keep repeating the same pattern each month. By just having a plan for your paychecks in advance and being consistent every month with how you spend them, you'll find your money goes so much further. Now here's a quick tip. Do you get a big tax refund each year of $2,000 or more? If so, consider this like an extra paycheck and make sure you have a plan for it. Or if you don't mind a smaller tax refund, consider having your employer withhold less taxes to increase your take-home check. And when was the last time you shopped your auto insurance or called your cell phone, cable, or internet provider to see if they can make you a better offer? And what about subscriptions you no longer use? A little effort on these things might free up $100 a month or more. Step 3. Incorporate cash into your spending. This might seem old-fashioned, but the biggest positive to cash is that it's visual, so you know when it's gone. For example, from one of your paychecks, you might decide to have $400 go to your fun money for the month. You can spend this money in any way you want. However, when it's gone, and you have to wait till the same paycheck comes next month to have more cash for this kind of spending. Step 4. Give your new plan 90 days. You are creating a new habit. In your first 30 days, it can feel frustrating because you have to work some bugs out of your system. But don't quit. Keep going. After 60 days, it will start to work, and after 90 days, it'll feel like it's on autopilot. Most people say they feel like they have more money than they ever had before. And best of all, in addition to saving more, when you spend money on fun things like shopping, eating out, gifts, parties, or a vacation, you can truly enjoy the moment without feeling guilty because the money was there to spend. So let's do a quick review. Step 1, spend your paychecks on paper or an app before you get them. Step 2, spend your paychecks the same way every month. Step 3, incorporate cash into your spending. And step 4, give it 90 days. So what's next? Well, you have to start. Don't delay. Begin turning wasted dollars into long-term wealth. To help you get started, you can choose one or more of the following paths. Path 1, request a free PDF that helps you create your plan and provides a list of money-saving ideas. Path 2, register to watch a free 17-minute video on the 7 steps to create a clear financial vision. Path 3, speak with someone who can help you customize your plan or help you with other smart financial choices. Simply take the path that's right for you by clicking I'm ready.
I hope that was helpful. This is an example of one of the things that we try to provide people It's actually an outline of expenses, and you go through what you're doing now and what it'll be in the future. You kind of figure out if it's going up or going down, and you add these things up. It's actually categorized pretty well. And this is something that I can make available as a PDF just for someone to use to kind of outline how they can get their finances in order. The biggest thing that I learned in my process was that when you finally start looking at things, it looks a lot different. And you realize where money's going. And this is the biggest thing I can share with you. Just take control and start writing this stuff down and figure out where you want to go. We can help you with everything else. Okay. So I want to show you this. Winning the financial war is a result of winning tiny battles every single day. So that's all this is. Take your time. Don't get frustrated, but help yourself get out of this thing. Because when you get out, oh, it feels so good. So, all right. Here, I want to leave you with this. And this is I just want to leave you with learning about money. Let me leave you this, okay?
Whether it's right or wrong, society likes putting people into categories. Baby boomers, Gen X, millennials. Now the truth is, we're far more alike than we are different. Regardless of age, we all understand the importance that money has in our day-to-day lives. You work hard for your money. Don't you think it's important that your money is working hard for you too? To do that, something has to change. Because odds are, you were never taught anything about money in school. To take control of your finances, you have to understand money. You have to understand something we call the concepts of how money works. And then you have to put that knowledge to work to secure your financial future. It's no secret that most of us worry far more about running out of money in retirement than about how long we'll actually live. That's pretty telling. But the truth is, the vast majority of families are living paycheck to paycheck, and no one is immune to financial challenges. That said, there are people that have a good handle on their finances. They don't struggle to pay the bills, purchase a car, or even buy a house. So what's the difference maker? Understanding the concepts of how money works. But no one should be penalized because they weren't taught about money in school. Everyone deserves to learn how to make their money work for them. That's why we provide people from all walks of life a financial education at no cost. With our proven concepts, you can learn how to improve your financial situation and get on the path toward financial security. And this is how it works. Strategically pay down and get out of debt. Start a savings and retirement plan. Use time and consistency to stay on track towards your financial goals. And protect your family's income with term life insurance. You may not believe it right now, but you have the power to become financially independent and change your life forever. You really do. But only you can make it happen. And guess what? You might think you need to earn a six-figure income, or receive a large inheritance, or even win the lottery to do it. But you don't need any of that. You can get out of debt, build your savings and investments, and get on the path to financial independence. Are you ready to get started? Then take the first step and download a copy of the How Money Works book right now.
So, do you think most people are financially well off? Pretty safe to say, probably not. But I do say this. Do you agree that if you know better, you can do better? Then that's what we're offering. You can download this book. I have links to that. This is a QR code for that download. I also want to tell you this. We do free individualized financial services solutions, and we do things that help you get a clear vision of your financial future. We call it a financial GPS, or what we call a financial needs analysis. We show you ways to pay off credit cards and student loans. Review your existing retirement savings. One of the things I found, 90% of the people I meet, if they were on a job, they left the job, they went to another job, they usually left the money behind or they spent it. Okay, so we show them how to get it into their own accounts without paying taxes. And the other thing is, you don't want to leave it at a company that may even go out of business. Get control of your money. We help you do that. It's easy. Future best ways to save for college if you have children or yourself. We also show you income protection life insurance. And the last one is will, power of attorney, medical directives, and even trust, which are things that we can offer to you. All of these are free. One might be a membership, but all of these are, let me say it again, all of these are free. I got my free bouncing in. So the other one is, so what you got to do is you know your financial independence number. And what we do is a financial needs analysis. This is a free service. And what we try to do is distinguish between your wants and your needs. We help you do that. And that's all a part of getting financially sound first and then moving on. This is my information. There's a QR code and there's also links. I also left my calendar link on this part, even though you can't click on it, but I do have it linked in the presentation if you get it. I do also work with you on that will, power of attorney, medical directives. This is through our legal protection program, okay? And it's actually having a lawyer in your pocket. If you get pulled over, you got a lawyer there that you can call your lawyer. You can tell the policeman, call my lawyer, okay? That's how good that is. And I got it really because I love the will, power of attorney. That's all done for you for free, okay? And the medical directive. Here, we do financial wellness workshops, and this is something we even do remote or on site, depending on where you are. And what it does, it helps employers help their employees. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to bring value. And my last piece is, I know it's going into, it's in the enrollment season for Medicare. You can actually go on this site, help someone if that's in that group, and actually see if you can save money. We actually explain it to you, take you through the process. And if you use my information, I got it all up here. You can actually go right into the site and talk to someone directly, an expert that'll help you get that together. So these are our links. I think you got access to all this now. It wasn't the previous download. And I just want to say, never be afraid to try something new. Remember, amateurs built the Ark, professionals built the Titanic. This is one of mine. Though the past isn't set in stone, the future awaits your influence. And the last one, don't let your lack of knowledge rob you of your hashtag intergenerational wealth. Because we're doing this just not for us, but we're doing for the next generation as well. This wealth that we build, we can pass on, as we should as a community. That's the way I feel. And this is the last one that I hear. So let me stop sharing. And I hope I did okay. Sorry for that mess up in the beginning. I think you missed about 4 slides, but that's okay. Was there anything that,
Sorry, I couldn't get off mute. Thank you. This is excellent. In the chat, everyone, if you do not have access to the online hub for this session or the 4 sessions, click that link that I just posted in the chat and you can register for this class, even though we're already in the session, and that'll give you access to the recordings, the PowerPoint slides, all the resources that Mr. Lee has provided for us. All of that information is inside that portal. So I encourage you guys, just click on that link and sign up. You can forward this link to your friends and family, all of our CME family. Forward that link on so that way people can look at the PowerPoints and especially that Medicare slide, Medicaid and Medicare slide. Please forward that on to others. Any questions? Any questions? You can either post in the chat or raise your hand. Go ahead.
I'm seeing on the screen, I hope I'm right. Am I looking at Reverend Joe N. Brown? Is that right?
Hold on, let me see.
I see him.
No, that was just my reaction.
Yeah, that was his reaction.
No, the reason I called you out, and only reason, is that I thought you had a meeting scheduled with me last Sunday,
It was for Sunday past.
Yeah,
yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, we didn't meet though. Do we need to reschedule?
Yes, we do.
Okay, my calendar. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to do this right now. I am going to put my calendar
In the chat.
in the chat. But
Okay,
let's
I'll go
meet.
back
I
in.
mean, I missed you. I was there. There you go. I think I got it now.
All right, I'll go back and register on that.
Yeah. Okay.
All right,
Um,
thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, can you put that chat, the schedule, your calendar schedule in the chat for everyone?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait a minute. It's not to everyone. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I sent it to Carlos, but not everyone. Sorry.
Okay, that's okay. Or Carlos can copy and paste it, and put it in.
Yeah. Well, I got it to the right person, of course, but
Yeah. Are there any questions? I'm gonna have to go back and look at that debt stacking video. I like that.
it works.
Okay. Okay, we see it. So everybody should see in the chat section. Now, those that attended Bold Money Matters as far as clergy, you wanted direct assistance. So here you go. And now the lay, please copy and paste this. If it's not for you, share it with somebody else.
The only question, if you're in my schedule, please hold up to your appointment because I don't like taking away from other people. So please do that and we're good. I love meeting you. Please.
I have a question.
Mhm.
And then a request. The 3 accounts that you should have, emergency account, short-term account, and wealth building account. That's 3 accounts. This is my question. That's in addition to your, what I call your daily operations account.
They recommended, if you go back and you look at it, they did recommend in the video that you kind of put those separate. But the key is you got to allocate it. If you're good with an app, let me tell you what I do. This is my personal. I actually have an app. My wife and I, we share it. When we make a purchase, we make sure we know it's out of the account by taking it out of the account, not physically, but inside that app. When you're doing it on paper, you might have to physically have at a bank or somewhere different accounts for that very purpose, which my wife favors. I'm cool with it either way, but I think that's one way that you could do it. And what you want to do, the whole purpose is to make sure that when you have an emergency, that money's there. And when you're planning for a vacation or something, that money's there too. And then the wealth building is something that I would love to help you with because we'll put that in something that's definitely going to be out of any particular account that you deal with on a daily basis. Even though it's available, you definitely want to separate that from everything else. Okay, we show you how to do that.
What I was asking or saying is those 3 accounts, that's money you should not be counting on to pay your monthly electric bill and buy your groceries. Yeah.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yes, that's exactly true. Yeah. But when the car breaks down, you want to have something. And that's not a normal, anything that's not normal.
Rachel was asking, what were the 3 accounts? Could you repeat those again?
Yes, they were, and I'm gonna make sure I'm saying it right. Bear with me. The 3 accounts are the emergency account, that's 1 to 2 years. You have the short-term account, which is 3 to 5 years. That's like when you're saving for a vacation or something like that. And then you have the last one is wealth building account. And usually that's an investment of some sort that I specifically help you put together based on your investment profile. Okay.
And my second question was, can you play that debt stacking video one more time?
Which was
The debt stacking?
Uh-huh.
Debt stacking.
Yeah,
Okay.
the debt stacking video.
Do you like the videos?
Yes.
I like the videos because I think it helps better than me just saying something, Bear with me, I'm gonna go to it. It's not debt stacking, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll play that again. Sure. but make sure I'm sharing my screen correctly. Am I sharing?
Yes, you
Okay.
are.
All right.
Debt stacking. By taking into account the interest rate and the amount of debt stacking identifies an ideal order for you to pay off your debts. You begin on making consistent payments on all of your debts. The debt that debt stacking suggests that you pay off first is called your target account. When you pay off the target account, you roll that payment into the payment you are making on your next target account. As each debt is paid off, you apply the amount you are paying to that debt to the payment you are making on the next target account. Debt stacking allows you to make the same total monthly payment each month toward all of your debts and works best when you do not accrue any new debts. You continue this process until you've paid off all your debts, and when you finish paying off your debts, you can apply that amount toward creating wealth and financial independence.
I want to let you know, I'm going to share this with Sharonda so she'll have it like she did the other presentation. So all those videos will be embedded into that PowerPoint. Okay, so you have access to all of that. Okay.
So
Actually, that next video even better. What's that?
while you're doing the debt stacking process, should you also still be trying to save something, even if
Yes.
it's not the whole amount?
Yes. The one thing that I caution many people when I talk to them, they're starting out, I say, get your emergency fund in order first. That's like high priority because anything can take you out. You don't want to start investing and then you have an emergency and now you got to pull out of your account that's intended for long-term savings. I'm not even allowed to invest money like that. Okay. They won't even let me touch it. If you don't say you have an emergency account or another account to handle emergencies, they're not going to allow me to set up an account. So that's the key. And that's what but you should be putting away something all the time. Treat yourself like a bill, just like a bill. If you do that, if you think that way, it changes your mentality. You're paying yourself now. Remember that. You're more priority than anything else. Pay yourself when you can, and then get yourself out of debt at the same time. So yeah, I think you can do it both because I had to. I had to do it both.
Yeah, funny story. I was single parent for most of my children's lives, and the keeping some cash, but that's all that I would spend, was really important to staying in my budget. So one month I had spent all of, the cash that I had set aside for fun money, eating out, McDonald's, that sort of thing. And my son wanted to do something, my youngest son, he wanted to do something. And I said, no, we can't do that. I'm broke. And he looks at me, his eyes are big. We're broke? Are we poor now?
Children don't know.
No,
Children
but
don't know.
it was a prime opportunity to explain to him the importance
Yes.
of not overspending, not spending
Yes.
money that has to be used for something else. Because I did have other money, but it was for other purposes, not us
Exactly.
going and blowing it. So I still try to live by that principle. Only spend a certain amount of money for just random miscellaneous stuff.
And you should have splurge money. That eases the pressure. I mean, you should have that. That's the way it should be. This is something I wanted. Can I add one other thing? There's something that I wanted to share, and I think it's in those links. But I have a booklet to help parents teach their children about money. It's called Children Financial Literacy.
Yes.
And that's designed to help parents start having that conversation with their children starting at age 3. I have several examples in there. I have a young lady who's teaching kindergartners how to do it too. So she was on one of the shows. So I think that education should start very early. So I appreciate you sharing that, Bishop, because if you start early, they're not shocked. My daughter, she told, I don't know if anybody believes in Santa Claus, but I told her once that I can't pay Santa Claus for that. And that changed her whole world. So she didn't know Santa Claus had to be paid. So anyway, that messed her up. And she tells me that story today. I said, really, babe? I didn't know.
It's a good one.
Oh, that's good. Any other questions? This is awesome. And I
hope it
think
was helpful.
you mentioned the children's portion of it, that is already it's in your last PowerPoint. I think we were able to click
Right.
on it and get the booklet. Guys, there's a lot of information in the online hub, a lot of resources, a lot of ebooks that you can download, share, the videos. I mean, it's a lot of resources.
That's what I
Any
wanted to
other
bring to the
questions?
table.
Any
will
other questions?
I will give a preview, if you don't mind, of
Okay.
next week. Next week, I want to go into investing. And I want to get out of the mystery of why people, how they invest, why they invest. It's really not that bad, but I want to be able to get you in the stock market when you start investing. And I'm going to teach you the way that you really understand it and you start paying attention. What I try to teach is you should be able to quiz me next time we meet. Because if you go in here and study it the way I'm showing it to you, and I won't go into that much detail on that part, but I really want to get you comfortable with putting your money in the market. My parents were great savers, but they never knew about investing. If they had done that and really trusted it, which they did not, because they went through the Depression. So I understand the mentality, but if you do that, you can really change your financial tree and your generations in the future. But you got to learn it and you got to be comfortable with it and know how to avoid the pitfalls that people run into because they don't understand. That's really it. They don't really understand. So that's my next one. I hope that helps.
Are you gonna share? Did you say do you have a video for next week, or are you just?
No,
Okay.
I'm saving that. That's all.
Okay.
That's going to be a
Got it.
lot of good stuff to next week. I want people to tune in.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any?
I want to share something, an
Okay.
experience that I had, like Reverend Snorton, Bishop Snorton. I too keep aside a blow fund, just a fund. And this past month, I changed the process and it didn't work for me. What I do is I have a certain amount of dollars that I can use for whatever. I break it down per day. So I know each day I should not go over that. If I know I need to go over it the next day, then I minimize that money that day. So I have overage. But instead of doing that, I took part of my spending fund and applied it toward extra money toward a credit card bill because I'm determined to pay it off by the beginning of the year. But it didn't work out well because I found myself short and being tempted to take money from other places that wasn't a part of my spending fund.
Mm.
So the part about not being in a rush to make it happen, I guess that was a lesson for me to just stay on track and allow it to come to pass.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We have a few more minutes. Are there any other questions, comments? Okay.
In the Bold Money Matters original series of 8 classes, one of them talks about a spiritual autobiography and spiritual trauma. And I think that's something a lot of us don't take the time to think about, where we learned our money habits from. And sometimes it's not just about learning new information, it's about unlearning bad habits. And one of the I think habits that I think plagues a lot of people is the tendency not to distinguish between your needs and your wants. I love clothes, and I can go in a store and I'll see something I want to buy, and then I'll look at it and think, I don't need that. Why do I even? And even just the other day when I tried to talk myself out of buying something, I bought it anyway. Got home and thought, I already got those pants. And so, just it requires discipline, but it also requires, and later on when I thought about it, I bought those pants because, I just wanted a shot of feel good. So understanding, that part of ourselves that, and which part of ourselves are we gonna let make the decision? The mature adult who's gonna deal with wants, or the little child in us that's reliving some unhealthy behavior. And then later on, we wanna smack ourselves for, why did I do that? So consult your inner child and your inner adult before making decisions. But that needs versus wants, because we live in our culture that just wants to convince us that we need everything. Who needs a gadget that cracks open a boiled egg? But they make that. It's just like, eat it on the side of the sink and the shell's gonna crack, You don't need that. So we're just inundated with these messages that we need stuff that at the end of the day, we don't need at all. And that can really cause the debt to mount up if you're not mindful.
I think sometimes, I'm sorry, also
No.
with that,
Go ahead.
if we apply scripture, sometimes it'll weigh on our conscience whenever we're battling with that, because I know I battle with it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a scripture you can give us?
The only thing I can tell you is God supplies all I need. Because I battle with that too.
So if I need it, that means God has provided a way for me to have it.
Yes.
I don't need it.
Yes. And
I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. I probably need to look at what I'm doing.
And you have that peace.
Because that means I'm relying on Visa or MasterCard and not relying on God.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Mm. That is good. Thank you for your comments, Susan.
That was Rachel.
Well, I was looking I see Miss Rachel, but I was looking at.
Okay. All right.
Sorry. So that's so good. Now I'm contemplating all my Amazon packages. I look like the postal service on my porch. So I have to rethink all these packages. Any other comments?
I feel like I'm doing a lot of talking, but I also talking about biblical principles. I from time to time do fast, where I will not allow myself to buy certain things. Like I love books, but there are times when I just have to do a book fast and say no more books. You got 10 books and you haven't read them yet. No more books. Or jewelry, no more jewelry. Can't buy any more jewelry. Or shoes. No, I'm not buying any more shoes this season. And I call it fasting. Because it
I like that.
also helps me discipline myself.
That's good. That's good.
Mr. Claresley, do you have any final comments?
I just hope this is helpful, and any comment, any feedback you can give me. I love the feedback. Bishop gave me really good feedback, Bishop Snorton, and I appreciate that because, I'm looking at it one way, and I like vision on me. Tell me what might work better. You get it? I found even in my previous profession, the more I listened to people, the more I was able to improve. When I got bad, it was when I didn't listen to anybody. So I like feedback. So if you got anything you like to share or something you have, a topic you have an interest in, we'll see what we can do. Okay. I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Well, before you leave, Mr. Lee said, if you have any topics that you'd like us to cover over the next couple of sessions, you can go ahead and put that in the chat. You can send that to me and I will get that over to the team. But Bishop, would you like to close us in prayer?
Sure.
Okay.
As we come to the close of this day, oh God, we just want to thank you for all your many blessings. Sometimes we are so busy that we don't even notice how you have protected and shielded and simply been present with us through the ups and downs of the day. But we pause to say thank you. And in our thank you, we're grateful for this time to talk openly and honestly about money, because part of our walk of discipleship involves being good stewards. And Lord, whatever it is that you give to us through paychecks, through gifts, through whatever means, we want to use it well and use it for your glory, because it is not about us, but it is about knowing that you are our God and that you will see us through. We thank you for Mr. Lee and for his guidance. For sometimes we do make decisions that lead us down the wrong path. But this information that he has given to us can help us course correct so that we can continue to be faithful witnesses who are not consumed by anxiety, but whose lives are full of joy. The joy of knowing that you are our provider, that you are our God, and that you are with us. So in the name of Jesus, we pray as we close and go our separate ways, but may our spirits remain united in you. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Amen.